All right, I guess we're gonna,
Mrs. Sandow? Here. Mr. Sorensen?
Here.
Mr. Sturm?
here,
Mr. Wright?
and can we get a motion? I think we're breezing right through this thing. We'll go ahead and open it up.
Can you call for a vote?
Oh, sorry. The
Ms.
what?
Atkins?
Yes.
Mr. Buck?
Yes.
Mrs.
One, we'll open the public hearing for the high school roof replacement.
I do have a quick email. Okay, you can zoom in on that a little bit. It's pretty tiny. There we go. Down below, if you click on that. And then scroll down a little bit. You'll see it's these areas right here. So it's the area right over kind of the commons area, weight room and, or not the weight room, the small gym, and then also the wrestling room kind of goes in that area as well. So, so that's the two areas right there. If you go back to the email, estimated price, I can't really see. Can you scroll in a little bit?
650.
There you go. Yep. So Emswire Architect is the one that does the roofs for us. He's put together a plan for 47,200 square foot of roofing. Architect's estimation is 650,000. We're actually going to bid. It's already out. We're going to get those bids back on 115, and then at 119 we'll have an option for board approval. So again, we're expecting remember our last couple bids from between the middle school and the high school, we received quite a few bids for roofing, and both times came in significantly under budget. So I think with some pretty good numbers. So
And after this one, so the high school will be 100%?
the high school, the only ones on the back side we will potentially look at, but I think they still have a few years left. So. And then the middle school's sitting good, Titan Hill's good, and Craft's good as far as roofs go. So we shouldn't have to do anything with roofs for a while.
All right, anybody else? All right, we'll move on to commendations and good.
And assessment coordinator. She is also our teammates coordinator. So we thought this would be a good opportunity because January is Teammates Month. So she has a presentation, has some wonderful people here to talk with us.
All right, well, I've got a very short presentation, and then I've got two mentees we're going to hear from, and then I've got some mentors here, and we'll have an opportunity to hear from them as well. So I know you guys have heard about Teammates before. We've got a couple new board members, so some of this will be fresh. But Teammates was started by Tom Osborne, a Nebraska football coach, and started years ago. It's school-based. The mentoring happens at school. It's one-on-one, and it is really focused on building relationships and on what's right with kids. So it's not a deficit model. We're not trying to fix anything with the kid. We're not trying to do homework, but just really focus on their strengths. Teammates mentoring kids meet weekly with just another caring adult during the school day. This is Teammates' mission and their core values. I won't read this to you, but you can just see what they're about, which fits nicely into the things that Lewis Central is also about. This is currently what it looks like at Lewis Central. Currently, we have 52 active matches, grades 2nd through 12. Last year, we took the program from 35 matches to 52. So then we had some attrition, closed some matches, and so now we've kept it at 52. We have a 79% retention rate, so overall it's pretty good as far as those relationships sticking and not having to close out matches. On average, our matches are meeting 24 times a year, and there's a lot of research out there about there's lasting impacts when you can meet with a kid 24 times during the school year. So we shoot for trying to meet with kids 24 times during the year. And then anytime we have had to close a match, 82% of that time has been factors that's like out of teammates' control. So a kid moves, a mentor moves, things like that. Who participates? So our mentors need to be safe people. They go through a background check, references, have to be 18, background checked and trained. Mentees is anybody in grades 2. They also can follow through even post-secondary, and they need to want to be in teammates. We never put a kid in teammates who doesn't want to be in teammates. Kids can nominate themselves or be nominated by parents or staff. We currently have a waiting list of like over 60 kids, so I've kind of like closed that out because when the school year started, we had it in our registration process that you could, you know, say, hey, put my kid in teammates, and we got a ton of responses on that. So we'll have people a lot of times say, hey, can my kid get in teammates? They'll go on the waiting list. So it is really important to try to get more mentors. One, this program is pretty incredible, which you're going to hear about soon. But two, we've got these kids on the waiting list that we need to get matched, and that way we can continue to match kids. So if you or anybody listening is interested, please reach out because we've got kids who have been waiting to meet their person. So what do? They meet most times during lunch. If there's a study hall or something like that, we might look at that option. They play games, do activities, talk. Mentors aren't necessarily therapists, but just a consistent person who shows up each week. Here's a little bit more data. I send data off to Teammates National twice a year. And our mentors and our mentees fill out some surveys. So 90% of our kids say they're proud to be in Teammates. 80% are more hopeful about their future, and to me that's huge to build hope with kids. Close to 60% of our kids show academic improvement. 87% showed fewer disciplinary referrals, and 71% fewer unexcused absences. Mentors, 82% of our mentors felt more engaged at work or home since being in Teammates. 85% felt more hopeful themselves. So obviously schools benefit from this program because we were building those strong student connections. We're seeing improvements in engagement, behavior, and attendance, and obviously very cost-effective support for student well-being. So what you guys do as a board is you've approved a little stipend for me, and then we have building coordinators at each of our building, and that's been a huge help this year for those building coordinators. They're building secretaries that get a little bit too to support this program. So program coordinator, that's me. Here's our building coordinators. Huge shout out to them. Lori, Elder, Wanda, and Candace. They do a lot. Anytime our mentors can't come, they're reaching out to them to reschedule. They're greeting the mentors, helping them check in when they get there. So it's huge to have them in those roles. And then we also have a board. Lewis Central has a board. Dr. Hazing is one of the people on it. Travis Houston is on it as well. And they are supporting what we do here at Lewis Central Teammates and meet quarterly. So huge thank you to our mentors, to our staff, our students, our community. That support helps sustain what we're doing. And like Dr. Hazing said, January is National Mentoring Month. So this was a great time to be able to celebrate what's happening with Teammates. So with that, if I could have Luke and Molly come up, and we'll ask you guys a couple questions. Okay, you want to come closer? Okay, so what do you like most about mentoring?
Playing games and seeing him.
Playing games and seeing your mentor? Why don't you come over here? I'll ask you a question. Molly, what are you most looking forward to at Teammates?
Going to the zoo.
Going to the zoo to do it. And I know kids really look forward to it. I happened to be walking down the high school hallways, and a kid was sitting with the counselor, and they're filling out like a scholarship essay, and he was talking about like one of his favorite days, and I overheard him talking about the day I got to go to the zoo with my mentor. So it's really cool that even a high school kid was like, that was one of his favorite days. So pretty neat. So if we have some of our mentors come up. We have Ann, if you guys want to come up, Ann, Rod, Linda, Colin, and Morgan. And maybe if you guys could just share how long you've been mentoring and a highlight for you or a favorite moment with mentoring. Yeah. Speak into the microphone.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Ann Morgan, and I've been a mentor through 3, so I like relating to them best. I too enjoy the zoo day,
Yeah.
and the kids always really like doing that. That's always fun. And my biggest thing, and I can say this really quickly because she had just asked to post some things on Facebook as far as like why am I a mentor? Why do I like to do it? And I like being a positive, caring adult in some kid's life that maybe doesn't always have a positive, caring adult in their lives. Now, not all kids are that way, but I definitely like that. I think I bring something to the table that maybe they don't get all the time at home, and so that's really nice. And I feel like they can trust me. I'm not a policeman, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a counselor, I'm a positive. I just use that phrase all the time. It was like drilled into me in the very beginning, and I fully believe that that is what we're here to do, is be a positive, caring adult. So I think it's a great program. So, yep.
I'm Linda Hahn, and I just retired, and I'm living my best life in retirement. I'm babysitting my 2 small grandkids. I'm subbing, which I love, and I'm visiting someone at Titan Hill. My mentee there is just the highlight of my week. He's so he'll dance for me. He'll ask me to put the music on. We do crafts together and games. We did a gingerbread house before Christmas, and it's so simple, it's so easy, and I love that it's at school. It's just 1 hour a week, and it's just really the highlight of my week. So I'm looking forward to seeing him this week after a few weeks off.
Kind of fun to switch the role from being her teacher to just someone that she can listen to, and I can listen to her and just talk, and we have a good, she likes doing the games. The new games and stuff have been awesome. She likes just coloring, and it's nice. I'll get an email for her almost weekly, even though we meet. It's just fun being a different role with a former student.
My name is Colin Fast. I also teach at Titan Hill, and this is probably about my 5th year doing teammates with my 2nd class. It's a highlight of my Friday. It's half an hour, and I always enjoy it.
My name is Rod Hurley. This is my 2nd go-round with a teammates mentee, and what I get most for myself out of teammates is I even at my age have learned things that I would have never learned if I'd been in a classroom or in a boardroom. Older, I start to understand the value of that one-on-one relationship, and teammate not only promotes it, they allow it. And here's what I mean by that is there are I wouldn't discover if we didn't get diving in. I'll be real short. We're working on a train model right now, and it's something that he had no interest in, and I really didn't have any interest in until I said, what can we do for the entire year that I don't know if we can do this. And he says, we're doing this. And I knew right then the entire rest of the school year was going to be great because he loves that challenge, and we make mistakes, and he corrects me, and I correct him. But it's a way to use. First one was a great example of that. Is you see these doors open up, and it's amazing. They really wanted to be a part of that life that I don't know if they'd have if they were just sitting in a classroom and being told to do something. So to me, I talk to them because it'll change their life. As much as the kids, it will change their life. So anyway, thanks guys for everything and the opportunity to do this.
Thank you. And there's 5 other people in the room who are.
I mean, I've been doing it, I started doing it when I was in Missouri Valley as a teacher in 2010. So I've been doing it for 15 years. Over 15 years, I probably had, I want to say, and the fact that I'm here, I'm able to do that. But I remember as a teacher, at one point I had two mentees, and I was giving up 2 lunches a day and literally running up the hill to the elementary to get to spend time with them, and then 3rd grade all the way through senior. And then I've had some that I only got to be with for a year or 2 until the circumstances changed and they ended up moving away or something like that. But regardless of that, the connection to see him go off to college, he's graduating college. I've been invited to his college graduation. We still go out to lunch about once a month or once every other month. I've been to his wedding, a very long time. And so it's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. So.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I've had a great experience with mine. And then by the end of last year, he was excited to talk about next year, continuing that program. So it's one of those things where, we have a lot of fun together. It's, I think, and otherwise we just play games and have a lot of fun. And we love the warmer weather when we can go outside and kind of get some fresh air and throw the football around. But it's been an awesome experience. I agree with
After questions, if you guys want to head over this way, we'll do a group picture, and we have some certificates and gifts for you guys too. But before we do that, any questions from the board?
On any kid can only be positive for them. And, like teaching them how to do a train, it kind of gives you a little more comfortable to maybe think outside the box of how do I learn better, and get them to communicate. So I commend all of you.
Might be, matched with, a student that I can't connect with. That's why we do intro surveys. We make sure that you're connected with somebody that is aligned with what you're interested in. So a lot of times, the other thing is people sometimes I'll hear, well, I don't, it's hard, because a lot of the kids are disciplinary issues, and that's not true at all. The teammates have such a wide variety. To students who, like my daughter's in there, and I would think that we're fairly stable at my house, but, I would hope so. So, again, it's just very good students, very good families. And that's, it's just a wide variety, and it's just students, my daughter's in it right now because, quite honestly, I like the fact, just a variety of students out there. So if you're on the fence, and you might have some misconception or some thoughts about what it is and what it isn't, just reach out.
You guys too.
1 hour a day.
Andrea. Is it easy?
Oh, that's fine.
I say yes. Okay, where do you want the picture?
Here.
Okay. Yeah, good. So, perfect, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a Coke guy anyway.
Cool.
Thanks, Lisa.
My luck, she'd post the one that's like crooked, blurry.
We ready to continue?
Show choir opener is a week from tonight. You'll see Titan Force. The middle school show course goes out the first time, but Corp and Company head out a week from Saturday to Glenwood Monday night.
And is that for the friends and family?
That's for the whole, anybody.
Everyone.
Yep, 7 o'clock
7 o'clock next
for that one. So I haven't seen costumes. I haven't seen any, as long as I've been doing show choir mom stuff, this is the first time. So
Very cool.
I'm excited.
.01, approval of minutes.
Agenda, and we do have an updated personnel sheet. So I have a couple of ads on there. And we did receive Belinda Jacoby's letter. Retiree on there is Julie Williams, who will be retiring at the end of February.
Absolutely.
What we did.
Big shoes.
Yeah.
Big shoes.
To approve consent agenda.
Second.
Ms. Atkins?
Yes.
Now we'll move on to 701, superintendent.
Legislative season. I will say that there have been a couple positive, is a lot of what I don't want to hear. So they were excited to be able to tell me a couple things that revising it to make it easier for patrons to understand. Obviously, the whole point of it is to try to, at least for this next year, and at least not affect schools. Last year was all of the impacts to schools were going to be negative. So push and allow schools to continue to function as we are. That would be the House. One of the things I thought was great was which would be honestly amazing. I don't think that they've met the statutory deadline. Well, we're already past the statutory deadline. But one of the biggest things that we've told them from, at least in our superintendent meeting, that if we don't know what the budget's going to be, because they're requiring us to set a budget within a certain number of days and make sure that we're doing everything we can in the best interest of our patrons. And so we said the sooner you can set it, the better, because then it allows us to figure out how we're gonna cut spending as well. So, but all of that takes time, and truly it affects people, those numbers, until right before it's time to decide what action is going to take place on our budget. So if you talk to people, 2, 3, it's kind of been all over the place. 3 is a great number. Inflation's 3.2%, so we'd actually still be less than inflation, but it would still be like that would be something that would be difficult to swallow. So so if you talk to your legislator, our teachers and administrators, to our bus drivers, custodians, paraeducators, I mean, we're trying to keep everybody employed. And we're already in trouble, but it would be more trouble. So if you can please ask people, or ask your legislators to set our assets in, that would be very helpful to us. And then again, just to kind of advocate that if they do end up changing the property tax bill, unless they can figure out a way to do that, that'd be great. So a couple things to throw out to legislators. Next thing, we have, as you saw up there, we have some early retirement. I was going to ask Mrs. Reyes, how many early retirements do we have?
Or resignations.
Or early resignations, yep. So just make sure you notify us. And then facilities, just to give a quick update, they're playgrounds, and I've asked.
I had it all ready to go.
You did. It timed out on you. And so this was our official grand opening ribbon cutting. It was beautiful. As you can see there, it's everything and more that we thought it would be. The kids we gave them like 5 minutes, 6 minutes to go play. And it was but for those 5 minutes, there was a lot of joy. So, and I know Director Atkins was there. She got to be the ribbon cutter. I guess what were your
extra excited, but they were excited. I'm excited. I mean, we didn't have playgrounds like that when I was a kid, and the principal went down the slide, so it was really fun to be a part of, and I'm really glad that I was able to make it.
It's meant for slightly smaller, like elf type people, not Santa. So,
but he did try out Santa did try out.
Is we now have 3 truly accessible playgrounds, and I'm not sure if you go around to a lot. You'll see we have 2 Gaga ball pits, and then we have a turf area. So hopefully we can send kids. Apologize for that, but that's just what the fill is. So, but it's better than the mulch that they come home in the dirt. So, but and talking about each piece of playground equipment, and how many students need to be on it, how to play on it appropriately, how not to play. So hopefully we'll be done with tutorials by the end of the day tomorrow, and then by Wednesday, when it's 50 degrees out, they will have full run of the playground. Excited about that.
I've seen some. Are there still some basketball hoops up there?
They got to move them.
Okay.
Yeah. So
are we keeping those?
Done. The license plate readers are not. They're still waiting on a few pieces, the parts, but the license plate or the parking lot cameras at the high school are done. Potentially a bid package out by even as soon as the end of the month, beginning of February. So as soon as they give me the word that they have some stand with and invite the community facility committee in, so then they can kind of present to us kind of what their plan is for chunking it out to the facility committee and then turn around and meet with the board. So we'll probably just have a board work session towards the end of the month. Potentially talk about that. Structure and the metal itself, we need to get that out and bid ASAP. So right now, they are just working with Lamper Nearson, BCDM is, to design the metal building ourselves, not through just through a vendor. So we'll get bids, we'll purchase the metal building, and any of the other metal, like all the siding, we'll purchase all of that together. And then, once we purchase all of the metal, then we'll go and we'll find a contract ASAP. And then whoever we get as a contractor will then be responsible for erecting the metal building and putting everything together. So we will that's how we're gonna chunk it out, to make sure we can get it done on time.
What the goal is, can you restate the?
So, and the number one thing is just getting that metal building ordered. Once we get that ordered, then the rest of it should kind of fall into place, so.
But that's also in conjunction with the parking lot.
Parking lot,
Yeah.
correct, yeah. So, there's a lot of moving pieces, so. Now is, if you drive by the high school, that old tennis court parking lot is full all the time. So, every night game, every day at school, that's been, I've had a couple to see, how well that's being used. And on the flip side, we are going to, it's allowing us, because we have that extra parking, that the Potawatomi County, they try to bring it in yearly, but they take it out to West Fair. And West Fair is doing a big renovation this year, so they're not able to host it. And so they contacted me, and so they came out a few times. And Wednesday before Memorial Day, and our last day of school is that Friday. So it comes in that Wednesday. So we've had to try to finagle like some arrival times, because we don't want same time that we have middle school and high school pickup at the end of the day, because that would be an absolute nightmare for everybody. So trying to finagle some of that, but then allow the kids to park in the other area. So then that way, seniors last day that Wednesday too. So then that way they can have that area, and that'll be open, as early. So, again, it's just one of those things that, we are a community, we want people to view us as a community asset, and in return, we need to volunteer our Titan HVAC. They are working on that as well. So they've been seeing people come and go quite frequently. We are all get more work on over break than they did. They just kind of pulled some wires a little bit, trying to get some of that ready. So that's coming. We did have to have some things repainted over break, a little over break. We're going to have to very soon, probably this week, I'll probably start reaching out and getting in touch with some different painters. But the idea as well, so that way we can get all the stuff off the floor, and then we're going to redo the high school gym floor. There's some, because of the condensation and the bare wood, and then we need to repaint it, and resurface it and everything. So that work's set to be done this summer, and we just have to start finding vendors to be able to do that. So
How many more?
finished about 2014 or 2013, I think 2013, and then another one now. So it's about every 10 to 12 years redo it. And then once you're done, then after that it's too thin.
So since what, 99, 2000?
So it
2000.
lasted about 13.
Got it done in 2012 or 2013. Do you remember exactly when that was? No, you weren't here
I
either.
wasn't here.
So again, 2025. And if you go on there, you'll see it as well. So it's just been, and it'll be another very exciting summer. So
And is that anything with the small gym that we need to touch and do?
potentially they do both gyms. And so sometimes they'll discount it to the point where it's silly not to do the other gym. So we're just spending so much money right now, and I just want to make sure we understand kind of where we're at with expenditures. However, if they come in and it's a 50% reduction than what it would be if we bring them
Be
into.
the second refinish then for the small
Yeah, I
gym
think for the
too?
small gym too.
Okay.
Correct, yep.
So it's been 2013.
Gym was just held up a lot better because of they didn't have quite the condensation and the HVAC issues that the other gym had. There's a good size area, maybe the air that's damaged in that area, so that you can see when the bleachers are in and make it good again. So, but they'll potentially take up some boards and have to replace some of them, but new HVAC. So if we did the little gym, we would do the big one first while they're doing all of their stuff, and they set up, and it's a process. So
Makes sense.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, are we looking to do the injury prevention? Is that not this summer, but the net will be a summer delayed?
Nope, that's gonna be at the end of the summer. So the idea is that using it, so it's not like we have to use it. So if we needed to do some of the work over the first month or two, do what we need to do in there.
'Cause that was my only
So
thoughts. If the weight room's disturbed, they have to move the weights out into the small gym, which
that is a load-bearing wall between the weight room and the wrestling room. We would like to, and you might have some circuits going on where you have some kids lifting and some kids doing if that wall doesn't allow us to do that, or if it's too expensive to put in headed room, is basically the mats coming out, and then we're gonna put a, it's all
Yeah.
comes down to price, so kind of figure out what it's gonna be, but we'll see. We're trying to get some ideas on it now. So, but that was to the existing structure, and that's gotta be done. So then, it's super tight, so it's kind of exciting a little bit. I like puzzles, so it's a little bit like.
Sorry, one last one is, are we having project advocates help lead that whole?
Owner reps, what Project Advocates is really good with is they are good with the court, help us review bills, help us review, make recommendations, make sure Project Advocates will do for us. They'll walk through with Miko Henny, and that smaller projects, they take almost more of a construction manager role. So like that, they've kind of taken almost that GM role, so that way we're gonna do some windowsill work in Craft this summer. We're gonna do all of that exterior work at Titan, work at the athletic building, the work at the weight room, not the middle school. The middle school, that's what we hired Miko Henny to do, so. We did talk about visiting locker rooms being pink, but it's funny, because the girls don't really want pink locker rooms. Haven't matched more of the, operations building and the,
Something neutral.
something very neutral.
Yes.
Yep. Any other questions? It's exciting. All right, that's all I got.
So we'll move on to,
Yearly, you have to approve an annual at-risk dropout prevention plan, and then we can submit our request for funding for our at-risk. That's been a very successful program. I actually have those ladies, they'll come and talk with you guys in February. CTE also covers the majority of our counselors, school-based interventionists, social workers across the district. So we do a lot with, assume you guys going to, I would hope you guys want to stay status quo. I feel like we're doing a lot of really good things, so.
No, the full,
Keep going.
keep going. Yeah.
There we go. There's the plan. What we're requesting for our supplemental amount will be just shy of 700,000. We have to provide a 230. Right now, we're anticipating expenditures of $933,000, 3.4%. So that's another inequity that if the state wanted to do something about. Quick backstory, request up to 5% of your budget for at-risk dropout prevention. And then in 2009, the state stepped in and said, with no warning, okay, so some boards would levy the full 5% every year for their at-risk dropout preventions. That's usually for the smaller districts. Larger districts might say this year, so they would levy less. Missouri Valley was in the exact same situation. They'd levy 5%, they'd build up a positive. State said, hey, you guys gotta levy less, so then that's where you're frozen at. You can't, you can't make any more decisions. At a minimum of 2.5%. Because there were some districts that were 5% when that hammer dropped. You have some schools that were below 2.5%, and they can levy 2.5%. And then you have schools like the same percentage. You have some schools that are able to levy 5%, some schools are able to levy 2.5%. And really what it is it's not even that decision. That's not a state decision saying, no, your district can only request up to 3.2%, of easily resolved if they were to say, okay, every district can levy up to 4%, up to 5%, whatever it is. And then it would still be the board's decision whether or not control versus state directed, this is what you can levy within your own district. So that's just a little history lesson for you guys.
No. This program is in-house. Do we have students that we, like Canesville?
No, because if we have an outside placement, they've qualified for special education, usually like Canesville would be for a behavior goal.
Right, right.
Again, not enough, because Caneville will charge us $65,000
And you only get 2.5 times.
This money is almost 100% paying our own staff counseling, that kind of stuff.
Got it.
So,
I will say I stopped in, yeah. It's definitely a good program. If you ever get down there, look at their They got a cabinet with some.
very, very, very likely would have dropped out. And so this is for students who, if you just need some credit recovery, you go, the problem with the online programs is you don't actually go in to see anybody, you know, you just are at home, and if you don't connect, they don't, you know, I'm not, we have, so kids are still required to come to school, but the best thing about it, I know that there were some concerns about kids, these are students that the high school environment was not conducive to their learning. And so we're not even putting them near the high school environment. They're over in the middle school. And that came in, they tried it, that they wouldn't show up, they wouldn't work when they were there. And we do have expectations for students. This isn't like, you know, we're not making you do. We do have some kids that because of their behavior, they have worked themselves out of the high school environment because it's not conducive to them and they're distracting for others within the high school environment. When they're there, they come to any kind of an environment for a kid. My own kids, you know, if I'm like, hey, you can no longer go in the basement and watch TV because I don't trust you, you got to watch it upstairs. They might view that as, you know, punitive, and the reality, I look at it as, you know, I'm just providing you a good, successful environment in high school. But they have to show us that they can, you know, that they can handle it, that they can get all their work done, that they can mature, that they can, when we do work them back into the high school environment, that they are successful, so.
When I'm looking at some of these individual targeted goals that they have on here, like, each one of these sections has students, like, served.
Yeah, yeah.
Are those in conjunction or connected, or are these all separate, like 200 different students from the other 150 that are, or couldn't they be the same student?
They can be the
They
same
can be the
student.
same.
Okay.
Yep, there's some overlap. Obviously, teammates is on here as one of them for the students, so they could be ones that are also then served up above for.
In one of the other areas?
Yep, in one of the other ones, so.
Okay.
Well, the thing is at-risk covers so many different students, need some social emotional support, and you could still be considered at risk, you know. Not every student that falls out or that drops out can't handle the academic portion.
sure.
They might not be able to handle the social portion, you know, so, or we have a priority. They need to work for their family and for themselves, for their livelihood, more than going to school. And so, when they turn 16 or 17 and they can get a job and they start making money, which might be the only income that their family has, they make a self-determined endeavor is more important than going to school because I'm not making any money in school, you know. So this is a way for us to win and say, wait a minute, you can do both. You know, we'll create a schedule where you can come in until you have to go to work, and then you go to work and you get your credits done and you can still graduate school. And in the meantime, we're still gonna bring you about what that high school degree can do for you outside of school. So that way, your sight isn't just on this job that I'm having at 16 years old is the one I'm gonna have for forever. That we can show you that once you graduate school, you know, there are other opportunities out there waiting for you, you know. The thing is too, is if you can do that, you know, it's just another learning environment. Now, it's not for all students because we do have a cap in that room. We have about a 12-person cap, so.
I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, so we have 12 people is what we've determined is probably the max, would be the absolute max that we would recommend, so. So that's why where anybody can apply to be in it, we do hold out for students that we believe are in most need of that programming. Okay.
All right. Let's see, you went ahead and talked about 802, right?
You know, we need to make the recommendation to, for that $694,596. And then we will have to match $231,523.
You else have anything on this one? No? All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to any more comments and.
So I don't think I can't hear me, but if you re-watch the stream, it will be smooth. I don't know if you want to tell that to people.
Oh, so, but if you rewatch it, it should be smooth. So we might, as I'm saying this, I might be, you know, that you make and we didn't answer, it's because we were already past that. So I apologize. So reach out directly to me.
We'll move on to action items. 10.01, at-risk dropout prevention. Roll call, right?
Mrs. Sandow?
Yes.
Mr. Sorensen?
Yes.
Mr. Sturm?
Yes.
Ms. Ag?
For the at-risk dropout prevention.
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion to approve the application for the modified supplemental amount.
Oh, sorry. Now roll call?
Mr. Sorensen?
Yes.
Mr. Sturm?
Yes.
Ms. Atkins?
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yeah.
Nope, just have the regular board meeting on January 19th. Again, as I talked about earlier, we might have to have a board work session to talk about planning for the middle school. A metal building bid in, and a week can make all the difference. I might schedule a special meeting to review that.
We had 7 PM on Monday
Monday for
the show choir
the swing,
thing.
or the opener. And they're looking for something fun for your kids to do. There's no school Friday, but the kids will put on a show and,
I got 2 kids that are
perform.
excited for it.
Yeah.
It's just-
he is ready.
Is Molly going? Yeah. All right, sweet. Sam watches back.